right. Grade 9? Yes. So we are still busy with chapter 16. But what we're doing now is we are factorizing with fractions. So up until now, you have been taught 3 methods of factorizing. We had common factor, we had difference in 2 squares, and we had trinomial. Okay, now those 3 we are going to combine in fractions. Now, there's one very important thing that you have to remember whenever we deal with fractions. We are only allowed to cancel out when we have one term at the top and one term at the bottom. So make a note of that. One term at the top and one term at the bottom of your fraction. Okay, now, if we don't have one term at the top and one term at the bottom, like we have over here, because at example 1, how many terms do we have at the top? 2. And how many at the bottom? 1. How can we make it one term at the top? Okay, that's one option. Yes, we could do that, but you'll see that sometimes, like in the next example, what do we do now? Now we have 2 terms at the bottom, so then it's a bit impossible, right? So basically, so what we do to make it one term is we factorize, okay? We factorize to make one term. Now, at the top, and for now we see the top and the bottom as 2 separate things, and we work them out separately. Once we've done that, you will see that then we can cancel out. Okay, so the top part, 6x cubed minus 8x squared. Can I factorize that? Yes, I can take out a common factor of how much? 2x squared. Okay, so if I take out 2x squared at the top, I will have 3x minus 4. Okay, the bottom part was already one term, so I can leave it just as 2x. So can you see that how many terms do I now have at the top? 1. How did we get it to be 1? We factorized. Do you guys understand? So at the top, I had 6x to the power of 3 minus 8x squared. So we take out a common factor of 2x squared. So there's my common factor. Then I start a new bracket. 6x to the power 3 divided by 2x squared gave me 3x. 8x squared divided by 2x squared gave me 4. Do you guys see that? Yeah. Who's still struggling with that? You guys good at the back? Everyone fine? Okay. Now, over here, I have one term at the top, one term at the bottom. So now I'm allowed to cancel out. Okay? So remember, when we cancel out, I can't touch anything inside that bracket unless I take the whole bracket. So it's the whole bracket or you can't touch it at all. All right. So please remember that I cannot cancel out that x with this x because I can't take just the x out of the bracket. Does that make sense to you guys? Good. Yeah. Oeh, dis lang terug sinne.
Ja.
Sê vir meneer ja, maar ek moet nou net gaan kyk waar kan ek gebeur het. Sorry, het julle nog julle punte gekry nie?
Ja, ons het dit gekry maar as jy nou leiers.
Why will it file? Oh, sorry. Ek sal nou gou vir kyk, hoor. Okay. Right. Listen. Okay, so I can't take that x, which is inside the bracket, but I can cancel out this 2 with that 2, and I can cancel out this x with one of these x's. Do you guys understand? Okay, so now at the top, I obviously have x bracket 3x minus 4. What do I have at the bottom? 1. But do I have to write it like that? No, you can just say this. Everyone fine? Okay. Yes. Do you want to multiply then? Yeah. Yeah, is that? Oh, yeah. So stick to that. Yeah? Sorry? Yeah. That's why I asked just now. Should I switch it off and then... No, you will see in the homework they say simplify the following. So then it would have been fine whether you left it like that or whether you said 3x squared minus 4x. Either one. Okay, but if they say factorize, then I should have left it like that. Okay, so it depends. But right at the top I said factorizing with fractions, so that's why I'm leaving it like this. Okay, yes. Yeah. To get the 2x about that you use what's on the bottom, or you just like factorize? No, I just looked at what I had at the top. So you just factorize? Yeah. Usually what's at the bottom might be a clue. Okay. Right, can I skip? Yeah, oh, yeah, sorry, you still had a question. You carried on 3x without 2 minus 4x. Yeah, it wouldn't have been wrong, no. But over here I said factorize, so that's why I want you to stick to that. But if I wrote it wrong. You'll see in the homework it just says simplify, so then it won't be wrong, no. So just leave it on the test and just factorizing. Then I want you to leave it like this. But if I do, it will be wrong. Yeah. So read carefully what was asked. Nice. So if they said factorize, then don't multiply it back in because they want you to get the brackets. Okay. Right. Just for interest sake, can I quickly ask, did they say anything about the masks concerning you guys at assembly? No, I'm just asking. What do you mean by that? What are they supposed to say, man? Man, they didn't say anything. Okay. What are they supposed to say? Because, man, literally, lots of other schools saying from like last Friday already, they said, no, mask is this one. Yeah, from the 5th. No, I'm just asking for interest. Okay. Thank you. Example 2. Now, people, forget about, as I said just now, treat the top of the fraction and the bottom of the fraction as 2 separate sums, I almost want to say. Let's say I gave you the top one, x squared minus 9. How would you then factorize? X plus 3. Yes. You would say that will be x plus 3, x minus 3, because it was difference in 2 squares. Okay. Now let's look at the bottom one. Remember, we treat these two as separate sums. Okay, the bottom one was 3x minus 9. But you're checking in your textbook. The bottom one. Onthou die juffrou was blond, né? So the bottom one we see as a completely separate sum, 3x minus 9. And remember, we've got three methods. Three methods of factorizing. So you run through those three. Can I get a common factor? If not, maybe it's difference in two squares. If it's not that, maybe a trinomial. Yes. Common factor. I can take out a common factor of 3. So if I take out a common factor of 3, how much would be left at the 3x? Just x. Minus 9, take out a common factor of 3, will be minus 3. Okay. Who's still stuck there? Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, so always your first reaction would first to see if there's a common factor. But if you see that it is a perfect square?
Then you do that immediately, yeah. I'm just running through. It's either one of the three methods. Sometimes we use two of them. We take out a common factor and then we do different. Yeah. Okay. But I mean, that's the only three options. No. Okay. So can you see that by factorizing the top and the bottom of that fraction, how many terms do I now have at the top? 1. And at the bottom? 1. No. So now I am allowed to go and cancel out. And remember, we said that whenever we have brackets, you either take the whole bracket or you're not allowed to touch it at all. So what can I cancel out here? The full bracket of x minus 3 and x minus 3. Do you guys see that? Okay, so what is then left? At the top was x plus 3 and at the bottom just 3. Please, you guys. Can I cancel out those 3's? Why not? Because there's 2 terms at the top and only 1 term at the bottom. So I'm not allowed to cancel out. Okay? Please don't do that. The golden rule is 1 term at the top, 1 term at the bottom. Then I can cancel out. Yeah. Yeah, that you can do, yeah. He's asking, can I separate them and say it would be x over 3 plus 3 over 3? Yes, you can. And then it would have been x over 3 plus 1. But we don't have to. You can stop over there. Okay. Any questions? It's not wrong, but you'll see the main goal is when I give you something like this in the exam, I want to see you get marks for the factorizing, and then you get marks for whatever, once you cancelled out, what is left. That's it. Okay. So don't try and make it more complicated than it is already. Okay. Can I skip? Anyone still copying here? Okay. Now the last one. Can I cancel out here? No. Why not? I've got 3 terms at the top and 3 terms at the bottom. How do we make it 1 term? We factorize. Okay. Now, which one of my 3 methods would I use to factorize here? No, not common factor. Trinomial. Okay, so I want you guys to go and factorize that for me. So at the top, you would factorize your trinomial, which will give you 2 brackets. And at the bottom, also factorize your trinomial. That's going to give you 2 brackets. What? Trinomials? We marked it on Friday. But the link was posted on the class group. But I explained it on Thursday. Actually, Wednesday and Thursday. And then we marked it on Friday. Tuesday was the test? No, Wednesday. When was the test? Wednesday was the test. Thursday was the test. Wednesday was revision. Tuesday we did this. Oh, dis waar, ja. Okay. But this is the end. Shh, 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 shh. You on the WhatsApp group, aren't you? Okay. Go watch the videos for Monday and Tuesday. Okay. No, not Monday. Monday was still a holiday. No. Tuesday. Okay. Kop is de mekaar. Right. Okay. Let's only look at the top part of that fraction, meaning this one. X squared plus 3x minus 10. And now I don't want no one to talk. Right. We said that because that's a negative, I know that my brackets will be x, what? X plus and an x minus. Clear?
Ja, juffrou.
By hierdie wielietjie van haar.
Okay,
Het sy so wielietjie?
nee, dit wys nie daar nie.
Wat wys dit?
Ja, juffrou.
Daai is 10 in swart, né?
Ja,
So
dis
jy moet nou
swart.
vir haar gaan wys, sy moet daar op daai dingetjie druk, dan gaan hy vir die kleure wys en dan kan jy op hom.
Okay, dankie juffrou.
Okay. Good. Okay, so because of that minus, I knew it would be x plus and x minus. No? You guys fine with that? Okay, now we said we take factors of that 10. Kyk gou-gou sodat jy kan verstaan, hè? Factors of 10 will be 10 times 1 or 5 times 2. And I must use those to get a positive 3. Okay? How would I be able to use the 10 and the 1? Not a chance. Okay? The 5 and the 2? Yes, by saying plus 5 minus 2. That will give me a positive 3. Okay? And that's how I knew that it would be x plus 5 and x minus 2. Does that make sense, more or less? More or less? Okay, so let's look at the second one. Okay. If I look at this bottom one, x squared plus 7x plus 10. First things first, that plus tells me that my brackets will either be x plus or x minus. Okay, now how do I decide between those two? This sign. Because that's a positive 7, I know that I'm going to use this. Do you guys understand? Okay. Right, so net gou skoon maak. Okay, so at the bottom, I'm going to have x plus something and x plus something. Okay, now I'm going to use factors of 10 to get positive 7. Now 10 will be 10 times 1 or 5 times 2. Can I use the 10 and the 1 to get to 7? But positive 5 plus 2 will give me positive 7. And that's how I knew. Plus 5 plus 2. Do you get it? Everyone fine? Okay, so people in the test, this will be your first mark and that will be your second mark because you factorized. Now I want you to see that I've got one term at the top and one term at the bottom. So I can actually go cancel out. And you will see that the x plus 5 will cancel out with x plus 5. No. Why can I not cancel out these two brackets? Because the signs are different. No. So your final answer here will be x minus 2 over x plus 2. And can you see now I can't even go and break them up, no? So this is where we end. That's it. That's the final answer. Okay. Any questions? So basically, step 1 is factorize, step 2 is cancel out, and then get your answer. Yeah. Yeah. Oops. I did, yeah. Daar was toiletpapier. Any questions, people? Okay. There we go. Yeah. Listen. Your homework is exercise 16.6 on page 182, number 1, 2, and 3. But you will see in brackets, you do D, E, and F of each number. So 1, D, E, F, 2, D, E, F, and 3, D, E, F. Okay. Any questions? Right. Then you guys can get started on that.